I'd like to share with you the technique of pivoting, a part of an aspect of the art of contemplation. And pivoting is there are three aspects to contemplation, three techniques, which are really one technique. They are pause, pivot, and merge. And they're both inside each other. The first one is you create the pause. You create a pause in order for something to occur in your life. So you stop what you're doing. You pause even on the fly. So now I want to make this clear that a pause doesn't mean you stop the outer activity. It means there's a gap in the inner activity. So you can carry on doing what you're doing, but suddenly you do it with awareness. You do it with mindfulness. And so the activity changes subtly. That's what I mean by pause. Pause can also be a literal stop, a break, close your eyes, a breath. It can be a technique as well where you actually do physically stop. Pivoting is the next layer, and pivoting occurs within pauses. So as you create more space, inner space within yourself, in your life, then you increase the possibility of pivotal moments. And pivotal moments are moments of breakthrough, when you see a pattern that's been running inside you perhaps for years, perhaps your whole life, unconsciously undermining you in some way, or creating stress or friction inside your body, inside others. And suddenly you see that pattern in a different light. Suddenly you see it for the first time, fully. And that is what creates the potential for a pivotal experience, pivoting. So that pivot, that change in view, that paradigm shift leaves you different. It is actually a breakthrough, because it's harder for you to go back to that old pattern. Read a little bit from this book, The Art of Contemplation, my book, as an example in here. You're feeling emotionally low. You've lost touch with any sense of joy or deeper purpose in life. Sometimes we wake up in the morning, or we just feel like that. You feel disconnected from others. You don't know how to get back to a brighter place. Instead of trying to distract yourself from the discomfort, you create a pause, a space inside yourself so you can look at your inner state with honesty. On deeper self-reflection, you realize that the state you're in is a kind of numbness. You remember that this is not unique to you, but universal to all human beings. From this place of self-compassion, you go further into yourself, into your heart, until you find the tiniest flame. There's always a small flame in the midst of the numbness. You cradle this precious flame, like a tiny spark in a cold winter night. You gently fan the flame with patience until it grows inside you. This may take time, even several days. But over time, your awareness and courage help to bring this flame back to life. You begin to feel human again. You feel warmth and hope dawn inside you. You've made self-compassion and love the pivot for a total change in awareness. And having done it once, you draw strength from knowing you can do it again whenever you need. You have learned to bring your heart back to life. That is absolutely the core of what I mean by pivoting, the technique of pivoting. And it can come in lots of different forms. That's particular to the heart, the human heart, the emotions. And pivoting is often an emotional experience. As insight is a mental breakthrough. Pivoting is an emotional breakthrough where the heart opens, we soften, we remember more of ourselves, we become more vital again, because we humans, we carry these patterns from childhood into our lives, and unless we're a really deep seeker or contemplator, they just keep running. They run our lives, and they steal our energy. They're like vampires that cling to us, and they just rob us of our joy of life and our vitality. So this technique of pivoting is really key, and it's one of those techniques that kind of happens on its own. It is an act of will, because like in that example there, you have to actually make the decision to stop. So you have to make the decision to inquire deeper and have the courage to look at this discomfort. So you have to close your eyes, whatever it is, and actually just go inside and feel it. And feel, in this case, it was numbness, but it might be anger. It might be a lot of different uncomfortable feelings, fear. But you just surround it with this pause, with this gentle, curious, space that just is allowing it to breathe a little inside you. And that's what creates the uplift. That's what creates the transformation. It really is simple, but it does take an act of will. The small act of will. It may feel like a big act of will. So I encourage you, as you are exploring the art of contemplation and you're digging into this practice, that you use your power of inquiry and your courage to look inside at uncomfortable states, and give yourself the space and the time and the commitment to explore some of those uncomfortable states. And that's when you will realize that inside those shadows lie gifts, lie treasures. But, because they're in those shadows, very few humans know where to look for them, because we distract ourselves continually away from the pain. So pivoting is a really powerful experience. It is the very heart of the art of contemplation. And I wish you well as you explore the practice and deepen into it, because it will begin to spread throughout your life and go deeper and deeper. In the last, I'll read you this piece. Although it may seem to many like a romantic dream, pure love is the only lasting legacy we humans have. There is nothing comparable to it in all of creation. All our knowledge and science and self-importance falls away in the presence of such love. It is this love that we come from, and this love that we will return to. It is the fathomless mystery of the human heart. This pure love, though hard-earned and seldom witnessed on our earth, is the ultimate reward of the deeper reaches of contemplation. Those few who have embodied this love throughout history, have found fewer words to describe it. They speak of it as an indescribable peace that resides in the human heart. It is this heart of peace that lies buried like a glittering gem inside each of us. It awaits the day when we will gather the courage to pierce our fear and softly allow the petals of our hearts to once again open fully. Not just a dream, actually the only truth there is.